sunshines. This is our drinks and journal. I wanted to do something a little bit differently today, but before I tell you about it, I am asking that you please subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and share the video with a friend. So this is officially the second, well, it's the third, but it's the second drinks and journal. My shirt for the day says organized chaos, because why though? And I chose this one today because it's been a really heavy, like, life is heavy in general, but it's been a real heavy week with the Chauvin verdict, and just digesting and reflecting on life in America for Black people. Like, that's where I'm at with it, right? And so we live in a space where you're supposed to immediately forget, oh, yeah, that was yesterday. Don't worry about it no more. Especially when it comes to injustice in the United States. And as an educator, I just had such a hard week. Part of our job is to perform, right? Like everything's okay. And how do you do that when people who look like you keep getting hurt by people who don't look like you, or even, you know, people in your own community? Like, it's just a really uncomfortable space to be. And also this week, for the first time, which is interesting to me because I fully believe in this. Let me turn my music down a little bit. I fully believe in this, but I've never done it. I've given it to my son before, but I've never done therapy. And I went to a therapist for the first time this week, and I cried. Like, I cried. And it's just so many things that, as a single mom, as a, you know, strong Black woman, that we have to swallow and push down. And it's like, how do you get to just be in the space when you are constantly supposed to rise above, right? Like, you are not supposed to make mistakes. You are not supposed to be flawed, baby, because if you are, the world is coming to an end and you in trouble. So it was nice. It was nice to just talk to somebody and to just get it out. So I'm looking forward to my next appointment. And so in that vein, with just everything happening, I wanted to come to you guys this week with a different kind of book. First, I'm gonna tell you my thought process all week. I was going to reflect on the Steve Harvey telling women what to do, and the Derek Jackson telling women what to do, and give you this really good book read from, I think I must have moved the book, another guy who his perspective is a little different. Berliosk, I think is his last name, and I don't want to mess up his first name. And I still might do that one another day. And then I started looking around. I was gonna do Colony and a Nation. I was going to do this one. I kept here because this is going to be my last one. I was going to do Real Talk for When There Is Nowhere to Go But Up, Black Pain. It Just Looks Like We're Not Hurting. I really was going to do this one today. I really was. But it was just so deep. And, like, I just didn't want to cry. And I still feel like because of the book that I finally chose, I might cry. But I don't think it's going to be as bad as if I would have did that one. Because that one is deep. So this is the book I'm going to do today. 39 Lessons for Black Boys and Girls. This book is written by Kenn Bivins, 39 Lessons for Black Boys and Girls. So, of course, you know, I got my sticky notes on the pages that I want to dig into. Before I do that, you know from last week, my favorite way to drink lemonade is not to actually buy lemonade. If you're watching my HelloFresh, I could have made some lemonade today with all that extra lemons I had from my meal kits. I can tell that's not enough lemon stuff in there. Concentrate. This is concentrate, girl. So let's shake that up. Let's pour this in our Good Morning Sunshine mug. And let's get to our drinks and the journal. All right, if you haven't seen the mug for the day, Good Morning Sunshine. Good morning. I was thinking about ordering. At first, I was going to bring up a different mug today, Girl Power. But I wanted to stick with the theme that's in the header. And one day I'm going to get fancy and I'm going to have all kind of different mugs and all kind of this and that. Also, if you guys have a book suggestion for me, put it in the comments. I do respond to comments. I'm not YouTube famous yet, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to be consistent right now. I'm not worried about the numbers so much as I just want to be consistent with what I say I'm going to do. So I'm here with my drinks and journals, even if I'm not feeling in 100%. Also, if you've been paying attention to my I did 2 videos today of not my ministry, because cooking is not my ministry. I was supposed to work out. I usually work out in the morning, and it just didn't happen. And I could, honestly, after I took my son to work, I could have came home and worked out. I just didn't want to. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. And I love Peloton, and I will get on that thing anytime in the morning. But right now, working out at the end of the day, I just want time to exhale and breathe. So if I don't hold myself accountable first thing in the morning, it's not going to happen. All right, you guys. Let's get into this. It's a really short read. Like, it's a really little book. But again, I can't read the whole book. I don't want to get copyrighted, but there's a lot of pages in here, but they're short, right? So I am going to read the first page. This is the intro. You're not the villain of the story. History proves your lineage to be rich with heroes, thrivers, innovators, kings, queens, and pioneers. The narrative that will have you believe chains, B's and N's, insert bad words, is a lie that has nothing to do with you. Hugh Wells, Songs to Burn Bridges by. Going to the next page, actually, and this is a letter from the author, Kenn Bivins. First of all, why is this book necessary? Isn't the title somewhat divisive? What does this book have to say that the previous ones in the 39 lesson series didn't already say? This book is about race, specifically the black race. Being black in the United States, or anywhere else for that matter, is a nuanced experience. It is within those layers, if left unaddressed, that identity can be lost. So we must talk to our black children about race. If it's treated as a taboo topic, imagine how powerless and unloved black children may eventually feel. Oh, and while this book is addressed to them, it's for children of every race to enjoy. Love and power forever, Kenn Bivins. So even though this book is written for children, for all children, it is specifically written for black children, and the way that I am going to hopefully talk about it, it is for us grown-ups too, because some of us need to be talked to as we are children who have not unpacked our childhood trauma. All right, moving on to the next page. So he goes through 39 lessons. I definitely can't get through all 39. But the first one is, your black is beautiful. Your melanin, strength, creativity, versatility, faith, tenacity, and intuition make you inherently beautiful. The next one is number 5. There is so much more to your history than slavery. We have contributed to innovations, science, literature, art, and customs that have helped shape the culture of the United States and the world. Despite slavery, we found ways to survive and thrive beyond. And I would say that yes, there is more to your history than slavery, but please understand the system of slavery is still prevalent in our society. That system started a chain reaction that still continues to this day of policing black bodies, policing black art, policing black thought, policing what is acceptable from black people. So yes, there's definitely more to your history than slavery, but you need to know that history, and you need to understand that that history, the stench of it, is still prevalent today. Police were originally deputized to capture black folks who ran away. That system is what has led to a lot of what we call policing of black bodies today. When you can get pulled over for not having a tag on your car that's in your window, and you up in the services, and the police will still keep coming for you. You have an air freshener hanging from your window, and the police still feel like they need to shoot you, even if you run away, because you're scared, and they got your license plate and they can come get you later. Nope, not later. Now you need to die. The reasons for killing black bodies has to stop. The excuses have to stop. There is no, I'm not even going to make a comparison. It just has to stop. It's heavy. There are other ways to deal with what you think is wrong. And these minor tickets, reasons for pulling black bodies over, that has to, it's a chain reaction. It has to stop. And if you scared all the time, if you scared, if your job is to protect and serve, but you scared of the people who pay you to protect and serve them, you probably shouldn't have that job. This is number 6. Mindset is your superpower. Persistence, hard work, and effort are all very important traits to have. But having that foundational belief that you are in control of your own destiny is the secret sauce to your success. Number 7, you are not a minority. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Hold on. You are not a minority. Black people's culture, influence on the mainstream alongside their economic power and innovation has long established them as the foundation to mankind. Ooh, did that go over your head? Bring it back. Black people's culture influence on the mainstream alongside their economic power. Y'all, they was burning down black communities. They built a whole freeway through 75 in Detroit. Like, the way that this country has found a way to bring down some of our greatest leaders and thinkers, Malcolm X, MLK, the Black Panther Party, right? Like, it just is exhausting. It's just exhausting. And alongside their economic power and innovation has long established them as the foundation to mankind. And logically, people who are of the global majority can't be considered minorities. So we might not be the majority here, but globally, we are the global majority. So why do we allow ourselves to be considered minority? I'm gonna let y'all think about that for a second before I go on. All right, we're going to number 9. Your life matters. Ignore the subtle dismissing of your value in the media, in the justice system, in education, and in whitewashed history. You are good enough. Listen again. Ignore the subtle dismissing of your value in the media, in the justice system. Baby. Because how do we have less numbers of us in these United States or in this United States of America, but we make up the majority of those that are incarcerated? Oh, the systems, these systems, the justice system, the education system, and in whitewashed history. Whitewashed history. You are good enough. All right, number 10, read a book. Read many books. That's why I'm coming to y'all every Sunday. I'm going to read y'all some stuff. I can't read all of the stuff, but I'm trying to get y'all started. Reading books increases knowledge, reduces stress, expands vocabulary, builds analytical skills, improves memory, focus and writing skills, and is a great form of entertainment. I hope so. That's what I'm trying for right here. Not just entertaining, but hopefully I at some point get you thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, today might be a little bit of a heavier day, but sometimes I got a little humor. Just a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Plus we got drinks. Oh, here we go. This is number 12, you guys. Columbus Day, Thanksgiving, Emancipation Proclamation, etc. Whitewash. To alter something in a way that favors, features, or caters to white people, such as increasing their prominence, relevance, or impact while minimizing or representing that of non-white people. I'm gonna read that one for y'all again. Whitewash. To alter something in a way that favors, features, or caters to white people, such as increasing their prominence, relevance, or importance, while minimizing or misrepresenting that of non-white people. Number 13, Juneteenth is. In my head, I feel like that should be like number 19, because that would just, Juneteenth, 19, June 19. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should have been 19. That should have been. Don't get me started. Okay. Juneteenth is the June 19th celebration of the real liberation from slavery that came 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was issued on January the 1st, 1863. 250,000 slaves in Texas were already free, but they didn't know it. Can you imagine being enslaved, being incarcerated, being innocent of everything that the system has told you you've done wrong, being a scholar, not thinking you're good enough to go to college, just feeling like you are not the best at what you do? And then to know that for 2.5 years, you were actually free. You shouldn't have been incarcerated. You shouldn't have been enslaved. You should have gone to college. You were more than enough. But none of them knew it. And no one was in a hurry to tell them. That is our job now. To inform, to give information, to enlighten, to lift, to impact, to create beings who are not ashamed, who are free in this society. We, as the grown-ups in the room, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. All right, on this one right here, I'm not going to read all of these, but I wanted you to hear some of the names that he's going to talk about in each of these next numbers. So 14, he talks about Marcus Garvey, Pride and Innovation, Ida B. Wells, Courage and Empathy, Katherine Johnson, Genius and Perseverance, Ellen and William Craft, Cunning and Resourceful. So if you have time, look up those individuals if you've never heard of them. The Google machine is pretty awesome. All right. Number 18. Racism is alive and well in America. Racism is alive and well in America. When Barack Obama was elected, the first black president, listen y'all, in my classroom I would have all of the presidents on the wall behind the whiteboard. And I would always say, what do you see? You basically just saw white men and a black man at the end. Number 44, right? So if you ever thought racism wasn't a problem before, like incremental change for some people is enough. That needs to stop happening. One black president out of 44, you got 1 out of 44. 1 out of 44. Let's do the math. Let me grab my calculator, y'all. Statistically, let me see if I do this right. 1 out of 44 is 0.022, or let me move that decimal to 2%. 2% representation. 1 out of 44. And then he got a Congress that didn't want to work with him. That's why y'all got to vote. Like, for real, y'all got to vote in more than just these presidential elections. You got to vote in your city, your local elections. You got to vote in your state elections. You got to be conscious of who you send to Washington, D.C. to represent you, to speak for you. Because we have a representative democracy. We do not have a direct democracy. Again, you are sending people to speak for you. Make sure these people are trying to at least represent you to the best of their ability. Your one voice is part of and what makes up a lot of other voices that represent you. Get your people together. Y'all go vote. Have a vote party. Have a vote picnic. Take your souls to the polls. They trying to stop y'all from doing that. They mad. These people out here are mad that y'all voting, black folks. They mad. How you mad? I am a human being. I have rights. I am finally exercising my rights. And you want to keep, every time we get to take a step forward, you want to punish us and force us back. We tired, sis. We tired, girl. Hey, girl. Because why, though? Because why, though? Why we all, like where I'm at today? Because why, though? Why we always gotta fight, y'all? I'm tired of fighting with y'all. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired. Like, the fact that the Chauvin case doesn't end, it doesn't end anything. It's just this, it's a little bit of a victory. It's just a little bit of a, I'm not suffocating, but I'm still having a hard time breathing over here. We tired. When Barack Obama was elected the first black president, racism didn't suddenly die. It simply evolved to thrive publicly in the form of legislation and policies that meshed bigoted ideologies with whitewashed ignorance. I know y'all need me to repeat that because y'all wasn't really paying attention. I'm here for you. I got you. Buckle up, Becky. When Barack Obama was elected the first not the 41st. The first black president. Racism didn't suddenly die. It simply evolved. It evolved to thrive publicly in the form of legislation and policies. Y'all see what I'm saying? Legislation and policies. Y'all gotta vote. Y'all gotta hold these people that are elected accountable. And when they don't do their job for you, you gotta get they asses out of office. And I got so mad because everybody thought Barack Obama was supposed to fix racism. They thought a president, any president, there's been no president that can fix what's broken in America. Like, there's been incremental steps made, but believe me, the system is strong. The system does not want to change. It does not. It's going to always push back against real change. It simply evolved to thrive publicly in the form of legislation and policies that meshed bigoted ideologies with whitewashed ignorance. Whitewashed ignorance. I'm not going to say nothing about whitewashed ignorance because it's prevalent and it's deep. Number 19. You don't have the same privilege as your white friends. Baby, believe me, I know. I know. There are some pieces of privilege that runs through systems in lots of places that allows white people to do all types of treacherous shit. I'm gonna say that again because I meant it. Systems constructed in these United States of America allow white people to do all kind of treacherous shit. But baby, your black skin does not allow you to step towards that treacherous line. Because you got treacherous and you got freedom of speech. Be real cautious with your freedom of speech, black people, because they want to control that as well. They're much less likely to be profiled by police. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't even know the conversations that I have to have with my black son as he's getting his driving, as he's getting his license, and his phase 2 of this permit process. About slowing down, about where them state boys gonna be, about they pulling your black ass over, because they will for no reason, and they will find a reason to be aggressive. But I'm gonna say this, and I mean this. These City of Detroit police officers, I don't have a problem with them. They've never done me wrong. They've never, like, you don't hear about some of the treacherous things that happen in other states or cities that you hear about. You don't hear about that in the city of Detroit, right? I don't know why. Maybe because they live here. I think they have residency. And maybe that's what it is. You should have to, if you are a police officer impacting a community, you should have to live in that community. Because you don't understand what's going on. You don't even know how to de-escalate a black person. I live in a house with a black boy, and I'm still learning how to de-escalate. But at no point would I pull out a taser or a gun. That's what be killing me. When they, the cops be talking about something. I thought it was that whole girl. Taser, taser, taser. Taser, taser. I thought it was a taser. I'm going to keep the profanity in my head. Because no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You knew. You knew it wasn't a taser. But you're performing. Performative. They're much less likely to be profiled by police, followed in a store, held accountable for others in their community. Because, baby, when black people do stuff wrong, let you tell it, all black folks is doing stuff wrong. Marginalized or judged according to the color of their skin. Be vigilant. We are the only people that when you look at us, you scared of us. We are the only people that you feel that you have the right to control. We are the only people that because of our skin color, we have to have certain conversations with our children that no other race of people have to have. And it is exhausting, world. It is freaking exhausting. Number 21. You belong to the African diaspora. Diaspora means the dispersion of people from their homeland or community. As a black person, you are a part of the African diaspora because your ancestors were dispersed from the continent of Africa to parts all over the world because of the slave trade and colonization. I have a lifelong goal of getting myself back to Africa. What happens when I get there? I don't know, but that is definitely on my bucket list. Africa. Where in Africa? I don't know yet, but Africa. Could I live in Africa? I don't know because I ain't never been there, but I think so. And y'all know, y'all hear my dog, because love is going to always make herself known. 22. And I need for everybody, especially my white people. And I got some good white people that I know, y'all. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I want y'all to see my good morning sunshine. Don't get me wrong. I got some good white people. I want to shout out, and I hope she listens to this video up until this point, because probably once I edit it, we're going to be about somewhere between 20 or 30 minutes into the video. Amanda and Scarlett. Baby, Amanda was jealous last week because Sunday got 2 shots out. I love my people. I love my people. But listen, Amanda uses my body butter. Bloop. Shameless plug. Shameless plug. Watch to the end. Click on that link at the bottom of the right hand corner of your screen, and it will take you to my website for My Brother's Dream Body Products. The unboxing that Scarlett did, I gotta redo the ad that I did because it was so amazing, and she let out like a little squeal, and when I edited it cut it out, and I want to make that squeal a part of, like, I want to put it on the page and part of like a commercial. But you know, editing is not my ministry. It is not, but I am working on it. But Amanda, Scarlett, and Nick, shout out. I love you guys. All right. So all laws are not just. People who enact laws are empowered by widespread voter ignorance and by strong biases of their own. It was said by one of the founding fathers of the United States that if a law is unjust, a man is not only right to disobey it, he is obligated to do it. I'm gonna highlight that because y'all know how I get when I pull out my highlighter. So we're gonna read this again, because some of y'all always want to pull out the founding fathers wouldn't have, the founding fathers thought, the founding fathers. Well, first of all, the founding fathers owned slaves. First of all, third and fourth and fifth of all, and some of them had slaves and had children that by their slaves. My son is screaming and hollering right now, and it's driving me crazy. And since I'm recording on my phone, I can't call him to tell him to stop it. Video games. We'll see if I edit that part out, but he's driving me crazy. And it's like, I feel like, let me tell y'all, I feel like when he gets elevated like that on the video games, he really wants me to tell him to stop, because he can hear himself. He can hear himself. He knows that he's screaming and hollering. I hope y'all watch my lock journey, because baby, my hair is giving me life right now. It really is. Let me tell you something though. These nails that I love, and like I do, so like this happens, it gets tangled and I want to pull it apart. These nails that I love though, this one with all of the blingy and this one with the flowers, sometimes they get caught and it drives me crazy, but like I'm here for all of the, that's why I do like this when I mess with it. We're gonna see if this makes it onto the editing, or maybe we're gonna learn how to do bloopers at the end of me just going off script and doing random things. I don't know, because then I don't like editing. That is, listen, that is just not. And then my heater is on because it gets cold and then it gets hot. Editing is not my ministry, y'all. I'm trying real hard for these tube streets, but it's not. Okay, so anyway, I need to read this one again now. All laws are not just. People create laws, people enact laws. As an educator, you hear him? As an educator, I don't really send kids out to the office, but it's a lot of us that do. And a lot of those kids that get sent to the office are children of color. Something's wrong with the system when your suspension rate, expulsion rate, and your office referrals constitute the majority of black kids. But you have certain teachers whose percentages are like 0 to 1 to 2%. But other teachers, like, what are you doing as a leader to address that gap? All laws are not just. People who enact laws are empowered by widespread voter ignorance, and by strong biases of their own. If you don't understand that every single human being is biased, and your job is to acknowledge your bias and to learn to set it to the side so that you can be a neutral human being and do what's best for the universe, you're trash. I'm going to say that again. If you don't understand that everybody, me, you, everybody is biased. We all are. We can't help it. We're human beings. We were born this way. We got moms, dads, granddads, grandmamas, aunties, uncles who feed us information. We got the news media. We got social media. We got friends and other parts of our family that feed us information. Those are called biases. We all have them. If you've never acknowledged that you have a bias, we all do. If you've never acknowledged that you have one though, and that you've been able to say, you know what, my lens on that issue is a little cloudy. So because it's a little cloudy, let me not look at this situation from this lens of cloudy. Let me set this to the side and see what is really happening. We all do this, you guys. I don't know. I'm going to tell you, I think the perfect situation. I don't want to say the name because I don't want to say it wrong. I don't like saying names wrong. It's really important to me. But the young lady that was shot in Ohio by the police officer, she was a foster child. She had a knife. The police officer pulled up, saw her with the knife. He shot her 4 times, right? She was a black girl. He was a white police officer, I think. I don't want to get that part of the story wrong. That's not really important to me. What is important is what biases did he bring to the situation? If he was a white police officer and he saw a black girl, but from what I'm hearing, she was fighting other black girls, I'm not sure. Whatever the situation is, I've seen police officers de-escalate situations with guns, knives, and other things that can be harmful. But this young girl was in crises. And I don't know that everybody understands what it's like to be in crises, right? And to use your uncrises judgment is biased when you bring uncrises judgment into a biased situation. So instead of shooting that girl, could you have attempted something different? Could you have attempted de-escalation? My job as an educator is definitely to attempt to de-escalate a situation. That is my job as an educator. How is that not your job as a public police officer? I don't understand that part of shoot first, not guilty later, because I'm an officer and I was scared or I was protecting somebody else's life. And this person's life was more valuable. Let alone all of the other situations that a young man with a long gun shoot 2 people, walking through streets of a certain town, bringing it back, getting water, hanging out with the police, going home, crossing state lines, benefit of the doubt. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's exhausting living in this space. It is exhausting. Like, exhausting. And at the moment that you are able to exhale, you just are sad. Because why though? Because why do we have to keep fighting and keep protesting and keep begging? Like, that's what it feels like to me. Like, we are in a continual state of begging for you to just see us as a human being, a person that is imperfect. Everybody in your universe gets to be imperfect except black and brown folks. Why? Why are you like that? Why do you control everything and you feel like that? I don't understand it. I don't claim to. But I can tell you that it is definitely exhausting from my perspective of life. People who enact laws are empowered by widespread voter ignorance and by strong biases of their own. Again, if you have never done the work to do the undigging of your biases and to acknowledge them and to set them to the side, you need to start right here. You need to Google what bias is. You need to Google, how do you identify those biases? You need to Google, how do I set those biases to the side? Or if you've never been to a therapist, you need to call one. Get on the phone with one and tell them that you're lost because you don't understand that we all have biases. Y'all already know. I'm not even about to talk about it. It was said by one of the founding fathers of the United States that if a law is unjust, y'all love to bring up the founding fathers. If a law is unjust, a man is not only right to disobey it. Well, a white man. You don't like the election? A white man can go storm the freaking Capitol. You don't like what's going on? A white man can go try to kidnap the governor of the state of Michigan. Carry guns into the Capitol of the state of Michigan. But when black people, Black Panther Party, hint, hint, Fred, hint, hint, when we try to do things because a man, it don't say black, white, or other here. A man is not only right to disobey it. I don't have to stop when you tell me to stop. If I feel scared, I should be able to run, and you should be able to de-escalate. You should be able to calm me down. You should be able to figure out how to talk to me like a human being and stop freaking shooting me. That is my right to disobey it. But I have to train my children, my black children, especially my black son, to disobey your unjust laws in these United States of America. He is obligated. He is obligated. A man is not only right to disobey the law, he is obligated. He is obligated. So only white people are obligated and not black people being obligated to disobey? The fuck out of here. Because why though? You want to always and the saddest part of this, you guys, is that black people feed into this too. Oh, I'm going to tell my son he got to do this and that, and she shouldn't have had a knife, and she should have just Philando Castile. Fuck out of here with what anybody should do in any situation. I get so infuriated when I see black people feed into the social structure of racism. It is infuriating. I don't feed into the comment section. I scroll past it, but baby, I be having words on the inside of my soul. Because why? When because y'all said the Constitution, and the founding fathers. Every time y'all want to preach to somebody, they said, even though they old as hell and they dead, and you want to translate how they thought. I wish somebody would try to tell you how I thought. You can't leave me in the grave and reimagine. Pick up from where I left off. Please, and thank you, and stop it. But y'all like to do that in these United States of America. A man is not only right to disobey a law. A man is not only right to disobey a law. He is obligated to do it. You tell me to stop and I'm scared as fuck, I should be able to run without you shooting me in the back because I ran. You scared because I ran? You scared because I ran. I should not only be able to be pulled over and to tell you that I have a weapon in my car, but I'm only going to get my license and my registration. But you scared? The fuck out of here. And I mean that. I mean that with every inch and every ounce of my being. I mean that. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm tired. Because why though? Because why are we still here? Because why is it 2021 and we are still here? I just need somebody in the comments to tell me, why are we still here? Why are we still having these same conversations time after time? I was even going to read to you guys the John Lewis book, even though he's written a couple of them, his most recent one. I was going to read you guys, and I just couldn't, because I was going to end up, I'm going to tell you why I didn't read some of the books I was going to read to y'all earlier. It's because I was going to read the whole book. Because I just, like, everything was preaching to my soul. And I just needed something that resonated with me today. Because I'm tired. I'm tired. And it's exhausting. So exhausting. To have to justify your humanity. It's exhausting to have to justify your humanity. All right, I might have to edit that out, y'all. I might have to edit that out. I'm sorry. All right, we're gonna move on. I've been on 22 for a minute. 23. Protest is the right to speak against what is wrong. Protest. Y'all, they making laws against protest now. 3 or more people is a protest, and they gonna make a law against it, except those protesters at the Capitol on January the 6th. They was good to go. But you know, all these other protests y'all be having out here. Did y'all hear me cut myself short? All these other protests y'all be having out here. Y'all can't have them. I'm sorry, y'all get random. And then I have to pull out the dead hair because I can't comb my hair no more. My hair really does shed a lot, and I know it when I go back for my touch. Any other back? I don't know any other back. I'm gonna give y'all a back update next week. Okay, anyway. Don't let anyone shame you out of standing for what you believe is right. The United States was founded on protest. Excuse me? American Revolution? What? Great Britain? What? We don't want you in charge of us no more? What? Boo. All these people talking about protests. America was founded on protest. Number 24, equality. Listen, this is I'm gonna pause and say this for everybody in the room, not just the people in the back, because there's some people in the front that fell asleep a long time ago. Because this video might be long, because you know I'm not really good at editing, and it might be the whole freaking video. I'm trying to do better on my cuss words because I do cuss a lot. But everybody needs to hear this part right here. Equality and equity are not the same. Did y'all hear that? Equality and equity are not the same.
There's no parade for equity work. Like, you don't get balloons if you start this work. You actually get pushback. You actually get folks attacking you. You actually get people saying that why are we concentrating on this? We have so much other work to do. This is the work.
You will win $500 if you can fly your paper plane further than your classmates. Equality supplies all of you with sheets of paper, although some of them are crumpled up. We don't all start with the same stuff. Equity makes sure that all of you have the same quality of paper to start with. I would even go further to say that equality would mean all of us have the same base of foundation of how to make a freaking paper plane. Because giving me a flat ass sheet of paper and I don't even know how to make a paper plane ain't helping my world at all. But if you teach me how to fish, I can feed a village. But if you just give me a fish, then I can eat. You know what I'm saying? Equality and equity are not interchangeable. And if you learn nothing else, learn that. Equality and equity are not interchangeable. And it is a difficult job to differentiate between the two. And if you are not willing to do that work to differentiate between equality and equity, and you believe that just because one person gets an accommodation, that all people should get that same accommodation, then you have no idea what the difference is between equality and equity. And I'm going to leave that right there. Number 26, make your voice heard. Be confident, ask questions, challenge authority, and interact as an equal. Every day of every week, I bring it. Whether you like my swag or not. 27, a riot is the language of the unheard. I'll be here for all the riots. I'll be here for all the riots. I've never participated in one, but I be here for all of them. I don't judge the rioters. And what is it America has failed to hear? It has failed to hear that the promises of freedom and justice have not been met. And it has failed to hear that large segments of white society are more concerned about tranquility and the status quo than about justice and humanity. Martin Luther King Jr. Let me take out my I'm going to take out my blue highlighter on this one. What has America failed to hear? What has America failed to hear? What have you failed to hear? It has failed to hear that the promises of freedom. What is freedom? What is that promise? What is freedom? What is the promise? I'm writing notes, you guys. What is the promise? And justice have not been met. And it has failed to hear that large segments of white society are more concerned. I'm going to say this for all of these people that be screaming and hollering at board members and superintendents that keep quitting in droves. White society are more concerned about tranquility, peace. You're more concerned about keeping the peace. Again, you're more concerned about keeping the peace and the status quo. And the status quo. And the status quo might be the reputation of your stellar community. And if it don't look stellar, we're going to hide that data. Then about justice and humanity. And I would ask everybody this. What does justice and humanity look like to you? I would ask black people. I would ask white people. I believe black people have bought into some of the theory of the white society of status quo. I believe some of our black leaders believe that as well. Let's not push. Let's not make anybody uncomfortable. Let's just keep the peace. Let's just keep it moving like it has been. Let's just keep acting like everything is okay. Because the status quo, our community is the best. We're doing the best by everybody, and the kids and the students and this and this and that. If you are more concerned about tranquility and the status quo than you are about justice and humanity, if you are not willing to ruffle feathers because of justice and humanity, you black and white folk are part of the problem and not the solution. 29. Cultural appropriation is. I picked this one because I had a meeting with some of my students, my diversity club students, and we did talk about cultural appropriation because I am growing locks, right? And so one of my students talked about the Kardashians. Oh my God. I am not a follower of the Kardashians. Yes, do I know about some of the things that they do? Of course, like they're the Kardashians. They're everywhere. But are they the cultural appropriators of our time? They are. And so in my effort to try to make everything like palatable to all kids, because it's a DEI group, I tried to make it seem like, it's not really cultural appropriation. Black folk, we used to have to wear our hair straight and pressed because I was told one time, don't let your earrings show, girl. You ain't gonna get your job in corporate America if you got all them earrings in your ear. So like those are literally things that some people grew up with being the right way. Like there are kids in some schools who get kicked out because they got locks. I am now a teacher with locks. So being politically and culturally correct is policed, even in schools. So I just thought this was an interesting one because it says the act of adopting, stealing elements of another culture, including knowledge, practices, and symbols. And this is where the appropriation comes in. And I'm going to let my DEI club know. So I'm going to keep this sticky on this page because I got to talk to them about this. Without understanding or respecting the origin of culture and context. So my kids will be correct. Black people are forced to culturally appropriate white people because we are forced to fit in with the cultural norms that are presented to us so that we can get jobs and education, right? White people, some white people, not all. And I think when I talked to my kids in school, my reference was Bauderic. Do y'all remember when Bauderic had them French braids in her hair? Back in the back day, Bauderic had them braids in her hair, and black folks was like, but I've been wearing French braids for all my life. And then Kim Kardashian did it, and then everybody's like, oh my God, French braids. And still black folks was like, girl, under this wig right here, I got some good French braids. Cultural appropriation. I'm gonna read this again so that everybody understands, because I just kind of got it today. The act of adopting or stealing, it's the stealing for me. It's the stealing elements of another culture, including knowledge, practices, and symbols, without understanding or respecting. It's the understanding and respecting. Give credit where credit is due. It is just like going to school and plagiarizing. Give credit where credit is due. The original culture and context. Slaves wore French braids because they were maps to go somewhere else. So guess what? DEI Club, y'all were 100,000% correct. I'm with y'all. Ashanti Wilson has room to grow. All right. I'm almost done, you guys, I think. Number 33. Master the art of code switching. Baby! I'm not even going to read that part yet. I'm just going to lean back in my chair like I am the queen that I am. Master the art of code switching. Code switching means I can get in front of my students. I can get in front of staff. And I can act a certain way. I can talk a certain way. I can have a black man sitting next to me and look over and question me and think that, I thought you was a white girl because of the way you talk. Excuse me? Excuse me. Stop it. That is so disrespectful, people, when somebody says that to you. Even though you might have to laugh it off because of the situation that you are in, it is totally disrespectful. However, if you are into code switching, and you are on my channel at all, please click subscribe, like, and share. Because my ability to be on my channel in my safe channel space, and to sometimes use profanity, and to sometimes say things that are inappropriate, can happen. But am I able to code switch and take it into a professional environment and say the right things and do the right things? Absolutely. Absolutely. Code switching is the ability to modify one's language, dialects, styles, registers, and behavior to adapt to different cultural environments. It is an extremely valuable skill in almost any career, and it is only applicable to black folks. It don't say that right here. It stops at, it's extremely valuable in any career. That's where it stops at. I added, it's only applicable to black folks, because we are the masters of code switching. Who I am professionally is not necessarily who I am in my real life. Don't get it twisted. Please. I am a part of the code switching generation. All right, a few more. Wait, I don't need that tab. Seek God always. Whether you know God or not, continually seek answers. You are the dream. Discover the dreamer. All right, I am going to read. When I put a paperclip on pages, that means I'm not going to read it, but I am going to tell you what's on those pages. So this one is about love, this one is about power, and this one is about forever. Then he tells you the significance of 39 lessons. And then last but not least, I do want to read some of this. Advice for the parents. I am a parent of Black boys and girls. But please remember and understand, all parents of Black boys and girls are not Black parents. We have white parents. Dante's mom just buried her son yesterday. God bless you, mama. And she's a white person, right? I have some good friends that have white parents and Black children, or Black grandparents and they're white. So I am going to say this again. Advice for the parents. It doesn't give a Black or white. Parents, any grandparents of Black boys and girls. Parents, let's admit it, the rules are different for our Black babies. This system hasn't failed them. This system wasn't built for them. It can be quite daunting to bring them up in an environment that is prone to hostility toward them, but all is not lost. You can raise Black boys who are elated and full of joy, and Black girls who are confident and love themselves. While it is revolutionary to be Black, happy, and unbothered in this country, it is possible. My unbotheredness is very uncomfortable for some white people. The following tips are guides toward that progressive end. Talk to them about the police. Ask, listen to them. Answer questions. Take a break. Have faith. Eat good. Share your story. Show them the money. Play outside. Take them on vacation. Read together. My son just screamed and hollered at me because we haven't been on vacation in 2 years, I think. And his understanding of COVID is limited. Take them on vacation when you can and when it's safe. Be smart. Read together. And that's it, you guys. That is my read of 39 lessons for Black and boys and girls. And I will also say for the grown-ups that need to hear it. I love you, and I thank you for tuning in today, which will be tomorrow, which will be Sunday. I will see you guys next week on Drinks and Journal. Love you. Cut right there to the beginning, and then I'm going to pick up right here. 3, 2, 1. Lord, I'm praying for my editing skills. All right, we are on chapter,